Hello again, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
Okay, so I suppose we'll just start at the beginning then. We'll start by introducing ourselves, so in traditional fashion.
Hello, my name is Rachel Lawson.
My name's Alistair Sharples.
And my name's Carl Cameron, and we're three autistic people from the City of Hull, and we're just going to talk about some of our life's experiences. So we've done the first video we did about masking as part of the masking campaign, or Take Off the Mask campaign. That was being done all across social media. The second one we talked about school days, and we talked about bullying and the legacy, because we're all still talking about it years after the event, aren't we?
Yes.
So we've got another couple of videos planned. The first one that we want to do with you today is things not to say to an autistic person. You know, the kind of things that are guaranteed to provoke a reaction or to insult or upset us in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So we've taken the liberty of preparing some advance. We don't know what each of us are. We're just going to take our little list out of the envelope and we're going to compare notes, and we're just going to discuss them. So shall we go for it then? So
Let's do this.
okay. Right. So we'll just go through what you got. What's your first one on your list?
You don't look or act autistic.
Oh, I've got that one as well.
Bingo, all three of us.
You may find that there's a pattern to this here for some reason, and there may well be a reason for that. Okay, so what's your on your next one? What you got, Alistair?
I've got... What are you looking or staring at?
Oh, right, okay, that's interesting. I haven't got that one. I had considered doing something about eye contact and something like, will you please make eye contact with me when I'm looking for you, which is...
Yeah, you're not listening because you...
Yeah.
Exactly, you know, but that's not... What have you got, Rachel?
My next one is stop stimming.
Oh, stop stimming.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you coping, your body language.
Yeah, no, I haven't... the only time I really have that, and I do have that with my wife, who will allow me to have a certain amount, and for some reason it turns out typical people find autistic people stimming quite anxiety provoking, it turns out, for reasons which I'm not really sure why, but alright, okay. So I've got like autistic people like Empathy, I've got that too as well. I've also got your autism's only mild.
Yeah.
You're either autistic or not.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. What you got again then?
Next one. You shouldn't say you're autistic. You should say you're a person with autism.
Person
first language.
Right, okie dokie. Right, do you want to go for one more? Or are we just going to break into these? What do you think? You do one more.
What's your special skill?
Oh, yes, because we're all maths experts, aren't we? Or I don't
computer
know.
whizzes.
Particle physics.
Like
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we can fly and breathe fire.
We can all recite pi to 300 digits.
Absolutely. All right, I'll tell you what, Luke, let's just do them. So, should we, the first one, autistic people lack empathy.
I was talking to my mum about this last night because literally I was watching a completely harmless child's cartoon about a cat. And I very nearly started bawling my eyes out because I felt bad for the cat. Like this cartoon cat that doesn't exist. There's nothing, there's no actual, but I just thought, but the poor cat, like it's alone, it's a stray, it's on its own. And I nearly started crying. And I don't think that we lack empathy. I think the issue is we have trouble expressing.
Yeah, it bottles up and it comes out very strong,
and
doesn't
it? When someone's upset, I know they're upset and I can empathise with it, but I don't know what to do to help. So it probably looks like I'm just stood there doing nothing and maybe not feeling empathy, but I just don't know what to do in that. I'm like, do I give you a hug? Do I leave you alone?
You're at risk of making it worse, aren't you?
You surely are.
Yeah,
you surely are.
What should I do?
Snowball effect.
Exactly.
Frightening.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a gentleman called Damien Milton. So Damien works at the University of Kent. I think he's attached to, and Damien's autistic, and he's also a researcher as well. And I spoke to him just the other day, and I said we've got to move away from calling this a theory, because it's not a theory. It's a problem, and it's called the double empathy problem. So what the double empathy problem says is that people of very different sort of backgrounds, neurological backgrounds, interact with each other differently, and because they interact differently, sometimes mistakes could be made. So what that really means is that autistic people just understand and get autistic people in a way that neurotypical people don't. That it's not a one-way street. It's not like autistic people, we shouldn't be expected to do all the work and to be able to expect somebody to understand somebody else's social rules and culture. We've got our own set of cultural rules and our own set of norms, aren't we? I think one of the things that I would like to get over to people is, and I think a lot of people just haven't got this, is that we are not broken neurotypical people. We're autistic people.
There's on a fundamental level, there's a brain difference and everything different. That it's not that it's a neurotypical making a mistake and as something that there is a fundamental difference on a neurological level. Like on a physical level, our brains are physically different.
They're physically different,
If you look at like MRI scans of neurotypical people's brains and then autistic people's brains, you can see physical differences.
Yeah, they light up in different areas.
People call it a disability. It's like, is it a disability or is it just a difference?
Yeah.
It's like when in the past I'm autistic, and the people have gone, and it's like, I'm cured. It's like, you don't suffer from autism.
Yeah.
You suffer because people don't understand.
If I just on Twitter just a while ago, maybe a week or two ago, somebody put a post, and they're obviously a well-meaning person, and yesterday I think it was World Suicide Prevention Day, and they put a thing on that. I think a lot of people, I don't know, that, we're 9 times more likely to take our lives than typical people. And so this lady had got a piece of research, and it said, is autism itself a suicide risk? Resounding answer, yes. I went, no, absolutely not. Our autism does not cause us to self-harm or it's to take our lives. It's people's attitudes.
And it's a reaction to stress and environment. It's like, when I'm in a safe, calm environment, I have never once thought anything of like hurting myself in any way.
Absolutely.
But when I was at school, I used to, nothing serious, but I would bite my hands and arms because it was some way of venting when I couldn't vent in a classroom.
That sometimes happens now.
And so, people with that is, yes, in the statistics of autistic people self-harming, then yes, that would line up with that. But I'm not self-harming as like an innate autistic thing. It was purely as a reaction to stress that I could not vent in any other way. And now that I've left school and I've got other ways to vent, I've not done anything to hurt myself ever.
You see, the thing is, Rachel, is like, you're obviously an intelligent young woman. You're very, very eloquent. I think your autism's only mild, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you're high functioning. You don't count. It don't matter.
It's just it affects people. Yeah. There is no dictionary or Wikipedia definition of it, is it? It's like the three of us.
Yeah.
It affects us in different ways, doesn't it?
And I think as well, people, when you say you've got autism, I think what people expect is for you to be non-verbal or, if not non-verbal, have a very limited vocabulary, have a limited understanding.
Maybe wear a scrum cap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're expecting... They're not expecting anything like the three of us.
No.
And so... I think that's where the kind of, you don't look autistic, you don't act autistic. It's because, what they mean is you're not acting the way I'm expecting you to. But you're acting intelligent, you're using big words, you clearly understand things on a complicated level. I thought that everyone with autism was just a bit an idiot who didn't understand things.
You see, what the saying is when somebody says your autism is only mild, what they're actually saying is your autism isn't affecting me very much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're not turning over chairs, you're not speaking shouting, you're not being echolalic. Do you know what I mean? That's what they mean by that.
It means you're acting neurotypical.
Yeah, exactly. Which, we've been through this with the masking video before, which neurotypical people seem to think it's the most prized thing in the world, just to pretend to be everybody else, not what it actually does to us, which is really hurt us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
As well, some people almost use it to downplay the experiences of autistic people. If someone says, but you're only mild, like, you don't count. It's like, well... I do count because I'm autistic, so my voice is still a valid voice.
And you suffer more because you don't look like the amount of times I've had. Don't worry, my son's autistic. It's like, it's like it's like what are your special interests? It's like the formula comes out again.
Yeah.
Because everybody just wants to put us in the box. I mean, the thing is that like other people may experience my autism, your autism as mild. That doesn't mean to say that's how we experience it. Do you know what I mean? I had a couple of little meltdowns last week just from sort of just being overloaded, too much on and everything, and you know it builds up.
That's it. You don't get it just all hits you. Well, it's in your head, but then it hits out at everyone else at once, and it's just like a kaboom. You're from 0 to 10 like that,
Yeah.
And there could be someone like with quote unquote low functioning autism who, let's say, is non-verbal, has frequent meltdowns, and just generally presents as or severely autistic, as people would say. But they may be able to have a job, live independently, do a lot of things, and then say, oh, you're mild autism. Like, yeah, but I maybe can't function. I maybe can't live on my own. Maybe I can't do a lot of things. And it's not an indicator of the level of support you need or
it's not.
the level of difficulties you have. It's an indicator of how well you can pass.
I mean, the thing with functioning labels generally is like if somebody's got an IQ under 70, then they're considered to be the learning disability, and they've got severe autism. And what that doesn't say is, they're really low functioning. And what that doesn't say, it suggests is, what actually peaks and abilities have they got? Have they got something that, I mean, like the little boy I was telling you about a while back, allegedly non-verbal, can do pi to within 100 places in 2 minutes, runs up and down, checks all his calculations, and then, of course, if you're really high function or supposed to be high function, and of course that doesn't take into consideration our anxiety or any other kind of difficulties that we might have.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely. What you got next, Alistair? It's like Christmas.
Yeah. Really disappointing Christmas.
Yeah. I'm going to sound like Scrooge when you suffer from autism. We've already had that. Let's go for another one.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Oh, this is a good one. We're all a bit autistic, aren't we?
Oh, an evergreen classic. No, we're not all a bit autistic. We're either autistic or we're not autistic.
Yeah.
And we're human beings. We all share a certain amount of traits because we're all members of the same species. However, it's about combinations and about severities that leads to a diagnosis. It's not the same thing. Have you
I have. And I think when people say it, I think what they mean is we're all little bit quirky. We've all got little anxieties or neuroses or little things that we do. And it's like, well, yes, we all do, but there's a difference between, you having a little thing that is just a little thing that you do, a little quirk, a little whatever it is. That, you're a bit awkward at parties, you don't really like people. And being autistic, because autism is so much more than just
so much more social anxiety,
being a bit nervous around people or not making eye contact. If you're like, oh, well, we're all a bit autistic, I don't like making eye contact. It's like, okay, but you don't live with any of the rest of the issues that come with autism. Like, it's not just eye contact; it's so much more. Excuse me. And when people say, "Oh, we're all a little bit autistic," again, it's like, I can tell they're trying to come from a good place. And they're trying to be. It's like they're trying to be supportive, and I appreciate that they're trying to be supportive, but it's not a reassurance. It's like, I think what they think is, if I say like, oh, I'm scared of the dark, everyone will go, well, we're all scared of something, and it kind of go, oh yeah, that's good, that reassures me. But it's not the same when you're talking about.
Yeah. You see, I used to think when people used to say things like that to me, I used to think people were just dismissing me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Some personal experience, and it's like, I understand because my nephew has autism, and I read about it on Wikipedia. It is that same kind of thing. Yeah. You just see it as that person.
And the whole sort of like, you're not like my son, you're not like my Jamie or my whoever it is and everything. Yeah. Well, no, I'm not, because I'm a 55-year-old bloke and Tommy or whatever it's called is 7. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We're all so different. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think that's one of the greatest challenges we've got is just, to get out there that how different we are from each other. A lot of people struggle that sort of around early kind of diagnosis or maybe pre-diagnosis is, being the good Aspie you are, you want to go and do lots of research and everything, probably research something to death. And then what you do is you'll probably read loads of autobiographies. So you compare your autism against lots of other people's autism.
You're like, I don't do that, maybe I'm not autistic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Then you get kind of caught up in all that kind of stereotype.
I think an important thing that needs to be said as well is that 80% of diagnosis of autism is male. And I think that's diagnosed in capital letters underlined 3 times because, to speak about it, Rachel,
Well, that's one of my things was basically that women are underdiagnosed and they're often misdiagnosed because they present symptoms drastically different, because women are from birth conditioned differently to men by society. Little boys with autism are, they are allowed to express autism in a typical fashion because society says that it's okay for boys to, let's say, make a lot of loud noises.
Or break something.
Run around, break stuff. That's fine. That's okay. Boys will be boys, and that's fine. But girls are taught, no, you have to be quiet. You have to sit still. You have to be proper and demure, and anything out of that isn't acceptable. So girls from a much younger age learn they have to mask, and they mask a lot more effectively.
Yeah.
And so they present symptoms in much different ways.
It doesn't mean it's not effective, you just
Exactly.
bottle it up more.
Exactly.
I think this is also I think at this point this is a video for another day as well. I think we ought to pencil that in at some point. So I'm sure we can find some cold palettes to go with you, Rachel. No problem at all. Right, okay. I'll go with one there. That's all right. So one that I don't know if you've ever had this or not, but I put just relax and be yourself. You're going out to some social event. Yeah. And my sort of thing is, or even less charitable, you don't have to be a weirdo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm always being myself because I can't be anyone else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, well, the thing is like when somebody, if somebody says that to me, just relax and be yourself. And my initial reaction is, really? So if you want me to relax and be myself, I ain't going in the first place.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the thing. I'm not doing the social event. I'm going to stay at home. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But then also, like, really, you want to be myself? So you want me to talk about my special interests?
Yeah.
You want me to talk about autism for 6 or 7 hours? You'd like that, would you? I don't think you would.
No.
You want me to talk at my normal volume? Do you want me to? Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want them.
Yeah.
They want you to act like themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is we don't want you to be autistic. We want you to be neurotypical. We actually want you to be something you're not. It's like asking a giraffe to be a hippo or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think
it's like calm down. It's like I'll give you calm down. It's not that straightforward, is it?
No.
And I think as well, again, they probably think that when they say be yourself, they're probably not. They're thinking that yourself is the yourself you've shown them.
Yeah.
When you're relaxing with them.
On a good day. You've got on a good day.
And it's like the me that I am with my friends, I show to my friends, and that I act like, is different to the me when I'm home by myself and can do whatever I want with no judgment. And so when they say relax and be yourself, they mean relax and be
who you won't be in that environment.
Yeah, the you that you are around me. And it's like, but you don't realise that even when I'm around you and when you think that I'm relaxed and being myself, I'm putting in so much effort to present this facade and to stop the certain behaviours that I know will cause issues.
So me and Jill were at the Autistic conference last Thursday in London. A great event it was too. Really, really good. Met lots of nice people I'd met online, and then people I knew, And there's one presentation, and I can't remember the lady doing the presentation now, so she's out there, please forgive me. There's one particular slide, and she says, I call this person my office me. Do you know, I dress immaculately for work, I don't at home. I spend ages doing my mate, I don't do that, I don't do this, I don't do that. And all the amount of effort she spends to be this other person who I remember once saying to somebody, I'm not the same as I am at work. One of us is an imposter. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's like a split personality, isn't it?
Well, you have to adopt one, don't you?
Exactly. And I've got multiple different versions of me. Like, they're all me. Like, fundamentally, but there's certain behaviours that I allow and don't allow in various settings. And so I always try to not mix my friend groups because I act like a different person. Like, obviously not completely, but I may be...
Oh, I get that.
Maybe with one...
put into compartments.
Yeah, with one friend group, I'm very quiet, I'm very polite, I don't say anything shocking. With another friend group, I'm loud, I'm boisterous, I'm cracking jokes, things like that. And I think if these two people meet, it's going to really freak both of them out.
I get that.
I'm going to have to balance.
That's not the rich line.
I'm polite. I'm not saying anything remotely. Like, it's like around my grandma. I'm just like, I'm very. I act like a little angel. Then with my friends, like, I'm loud, I'm boisterous, I'm causing all sorts of trouble with my friends. And then obviously if my friends were to then meet me at the same time as my grandmother, it'd be like, I need to balance being grandma's precious little girl who's lovely and polite and sweet, and being Rachel that these three of my friends know who is let's have fun, let's cause trouble. I mean, obviously I'm not that bad, but
brilliant. And so just slightly off piece the moment, but just while they're here, I was sort of stimming Tonya. I know you're a stimmer, Alistair, because I've seen you stimming in the past, sort of bouncing rocking or whatever. Whatever. So are you a stimmer?
I am, but I think they're much smaller. I tend to just like bounce my foot or like tap a toe or wiggle a finger. Which I've realised I can't do now because my cat has decided that anything that moves is a target. So I'm sat, I'll be bouncing my leg and suddenly I've got claws sinking into me. But also, if I'm very stressed, I tend to rock or if I'm stood, I'll rock kind of side to side. And I didn't even realise I was doing it.
I do that side to side rocking thing. And
I'm part of an amateur dramatics society. And one time after we'd finished a rehearsal, I got a note from the director like, by the way, like all very good, but just at one point you were just stood on stage and you were just kind of swaying.
Yeah, I do. And
I was like, was I? I didn't even realise. And I had to make sure I wasn't doing that because obviously it was when I had nothing to do on stage, and so I was getting bored, and so I was just rocking as something to do.
Yeah, it was like when people say, "Stop doing that." It's like, "Oh, hang on a minute, I am."
Oh God, I'm doing it. Luckily, obviously, it was like 5 minutes on stage, and so I was able to go, "Don't move," and then as soon as I got off stage, I could go back to doing whatever I want. And most of the places I go are very accommodating of me and any weird little things that I do.
I get quite bad echolalia, they call it. When I get stressed, I'll have heard someone say something. We don't use these words on YouTube.
Yes,
I'll be cursing to myself. There's no tomorrow. You just called me a peep. It's like no, I didn't. It was just in my head.
Yeah.
I worry I'll be just be in the streets. And I'll say something and someone's like, "What did you just say about my wife?" It's that
I talk to myself all the time. I really do some running commentary going when there's nobody around.
Yeah.
I've got one more. Have you got any more? What have you got on the list? You can see how well organised we are. I know well planned.
We've already had it.
Yeah. I've got. I'm sorry. If you say, "Oh, I'm autistic." Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, is it? Oh, you're autistic.
Yeah, I had that when I went to the park to the picnic, which ended up being the Pride buffet, and there was 3 policemen there. So there was a proper policeman, I suppose, and the other 2 were not specials, but these. You know what they're called anyway. And I said to him, I was trying to get advice about previous ones that these had taken place before because there was going to be a festival in one part of the park and everything. And as soon as I mentioned I was going to have an autistic pride picnic, the policewoman went,
He's a suffer from autism thing.
Yeah, no, it's
it's not an all thing. Like if the thing that someone says is, I've got autism, so I'm having a hard time with this, that, and the other, then you can say, oh, I'm sorry that you're having a hard time. But just someone saying, I'm autistic, doesn't warrant, it's not a death sentence.
It brings up all the negatives in that person's head, doesn't it?
It's not like someone saying, I have a terminal disease and I'm going to die in 3 months. Oh, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm autistic. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's how the big charities, you see, particularly, and may I just stress, like, there is a need for resources, whether charities or whatever, there's going to be different size ones and everything. But if you're selling something that's a load of people who are suffering, it's sort of easy to extract money from the general public, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's one of the reasons that I had to kind of push
like, you need the organisations to bring it. It's like, in Hull to have Matthew's Hub. I feel there should be somewhere where I feel lucky to have Matthew's Hub.
Oh, there should be
to understand, it's just that would eradicate the negatives, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the advert's like, oh, this is Alistair.
Too much of an umbrella.
So Alistair
suffers from autism.
It's
£2 a month and we can make Alistair happy again. Alistair's fine.
The poster boy,
I think just to get into, we talk about empathy before and everything, right? How much easier is it to be around autistic people than be around your
So much easier. It's so much easier. Like, I get along well.
There's no comparison.
I get along well with a lot of my neurotypical friends, but there is like a certain amount of downtime that I need to have after I've had any contact with them, because I have had to fake some things.
Yeah, it's hard work, isn't it? It's hard work.
I've had to force some things to not, like, I've had to force myself to maybe not say something or not do something.
Yeah.
But when I come to Hub, when I'm talking to someone who I know is the same as me, we do just all kind of go, okay, just let let the weird suit. I'm just gonna talk for an hour about this TV show that I watched last night because it was really interesting.
I need some. We've got a date, but everyone respects that and knows that. You've got to do it. You let them do it.
Exactly. Everyone goes, okay, I get this. This is you're getting into this. You just go for it. Say what you want.
Occasionally, it's like might say something that might upset anyone. Like, and then she might stick her fingers in the reason, go out. It's like, I made a mistake. But I didn't mean to.
Yeah, well, that's it. As like sometimes we do say things or do things that may affect other people, but we know that it's not. If you ever do, if you bring up that you saw something last night, and I think, I don't want to hear this. I know that A, you've got to get it out, and you can. But B, I know that you're not. You're not doing it to spite me. You're not doing it to hurt me. And so I go, right, I'm just going to put my fingers in my ears. You can say what you need to say and get it out and all that.
And breathe.
Exactly. And there's no, like, even if you say something that I think, I wish you hadn't said that. I don't judge you or think anything about it.
No.
I'm not kind of going, you said that last week and I wasn't.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you need a data dump, you need a data dump. I mean, I just had them trapped in the office down here not very long ago. Well, the last one before that was giving a lecture on the Spanish Civil War. And just, if you need to talk about it, you need to talk about it, don't you? Just as well, I mean, the people here are lovely. I love working here. I love being with people and hanging out with people here. It's really, really cool ground. And I think as well, like, so where we're shooting this from this time is I've managed to get myself a little office down the bottom of the corridor, away from everybody else. It's nice and quiet. I can just get on here and work without any problem at all. And if it is really lousy outside, because a lot of ambulances around, I get to put these on for a bit, just so I can focus on what I'm doing. If I'm really focusing, I find it really, really good. And so last week, the office had been kind of moved around a bit, and for various different kind of reasons. And they said, look, Carl, we can't have you all the way down the bottom like that. You're part of the team. Part of the team.
That's accepting you as part of the team, isn't it?
Which is a really nice thing, right, for them to do that and everything. But I had a really bad day.
It's accepting if you were part of a team, they would accept your needs, wouldn't they? And that's part of it.
Yeah. Well, and they have. The next day I came along and said, look, it was too much for me yesterday. I couldn't cope. I nearly had a meltdown.
Like you've said,
nearly had a little sob in the toilets.
It wasn't a humongous change, was it? It was something really straightforward. Exactly. Not that room, that room.
Exactly.
And because people kind of get it and everything, I've moved down here. I'm much quieter. I've got my own place. I'm even going to give me orange blinds for the windows. I cannot believe it. I'm so excited. Right. But it makes a big difference. The thing is like, when you're typical people, you think, poor Carl, there he is. Down the office on his own. Whereas that's not I don't have that social anxiety, but it's social separation anxiety or whatever. I'm quite happy just being here. So, like, we're not unsociable, but sometimes we need the right environment to be able to work in.
Yeah.
Or if we are overloaded, we need somewhere to be able to mend ourselves, heal ourselves, fix ourselves, reset, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. Well, it's like if you had a television on and it was just blaring at 50, at the volume of 50, you would turn it down. And that is what quiet spaces are for us. It's like everything is like having a loud television or a loud stereo. And, we just go, right, I'm just going to go here and it's going to calm down, and the volume's down to a nice 15, and I can just enjoy what's going on now.
Well, one of the things I find, I don't know if it's the same for you, but like if I am stressed or anxious or I've done too much and I've overloaded, other parts of my autism sort of magnify, kind of get bigger.
Yeah, really, yeah. Like I don't tend to have meltdowns, and when I do, they tend to be over quite quickly, and I tend to be all right. But when I'm stressed, as well as having a meltdown, my brain just stops functioning.
Yeah, it does.
And when I was trying to do some work, I couldn't vocalize anything properly. Like, I knew all the words that I wanted to say to express what was wrong, but I couldn't articulate any of them. So, like, my mum said, "You're right," and I was like, I don't. It's not. thing.
I just had
exactly
the same thing on Friday. So me and Joe went down to the Autistic conference. It was great, really, really good. But I didn't get back till late. It was very, very loud. It's hilarious, really. The Autistic. So I do, not quiet hands, but whatever for clapping instead of clapping. And then you go out into into where all the food was being eaten. It was like being in a football match. It was 10 times louder than anybody would have done if the claps. But the punchline was, so it was 10 o'clock pretty much before I got there. It took me an hour or two to get to sleep. And I came in here the next morning and I was just a mess.
Yeah.
For the first couple of hours. And I always know if I'm overloading, if things are starting to go wrong.
You need that time, don't you?
You need the time, but my head stops. I stop talking to myself. I start getting quieter and quieter. So it's almost like, not catatonic, because you still move around and do stuff, but everything just goes quiet. Yeah. Everything seems to stop kind of functioning, I guess.
And it's like when I'm having that thing, I in my head, like if someone asks me the question, in my head, I've got the thoughts in my head of, I can't work properly, it's too noisy, it's too whatever, I'm getting stressed out, and I need a break. But when someone asks me, I'm just going, I can't think, and it's
you
horrible.
Can barely explain it, so what chance do they have?
And it's like, I never normally have issues with words. Like, I know which word to use, I know exactly how to put it into the sentence to communicate exactly what I'm thinking, and like I can have a thought and just straight away be like, that is how I say this. But as soon as I'm in this stressful situation, I can't express anything
the stress
until it's
comes
passed.
Back, doesn't it?
And even once it's passed, it takes a while. I'm like, the thing wasn't. I start saying things like the thing instead of this computer isn't working properly and it's stressing me out. I'm like,
because then you got this social anxiety now feeding into that.
Yeah, and now I'm just like the thing wouldn't do the thing, and I start just substituting. The thing was blurring, and it's like in my head I'm communicating exactly what I mean, but other people are going, the thing was blur.
Give us a bit more of a clue.
Yeah, like what's the thing? What's blur? What does it mean? And in my head, it obviously means the computer was crashing, and I couldn't work because the lag was stressing me out.
Just calm down and think about your words.
Yeah, and I'm like, I am thinking about the words.
Yeah, you're not helping.
Like, do you not think if I could say right now, this is exactly what the problem is, this is exactly what you need to do to help, do you not think I would be? Yeah.
A lot of challenges out there, folks. We've hit on quite a few of them today, and I'm sure we will again next time. I think we're probably... are we about done for this one?
I'd say so.
I think so. I feel better for that.
It's very cathartic.
It is very cathartic, So look, thanks very much for taking the time to watch this video. We have got one or two more things going on in the pipeline. If you are in the north of England and you're anywhere near the city of all three of us, I'm sure we'd be happy to say hi sometime. There is strength in community. That's one thing that I've learned. And without other autistic people, I absolutely can't imagine sort of how I would get through, really.
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right, so look, thanks so much, chaps. We'll see you again next time. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Oh, can we do it? I can't see with the sun. Can you turn it off?
This is how we rehearsed.
This is delayed, of course. One take, as always.
3, 2, 1.